Welcome to the latest edition of Don't Take This as Gospel. I'm Mike Partika, and we are going through Dennis Prager's book, The Rational Bible, Exodus, God, Slavery, and Freedom. So pick up a copy at the affiliate link in the video description, and we are talking today about the sixth commandment, which is murder. Scary. And there are three quick points that I want to make about this particular commandment and about the subject of murder itself that I think you kind of wish they would go without saying, but they're actually rather important and they need to be pointed out. The first thing is from Dennis Prager's commentary. He notes something that I also take interest in. It's the fact that, quoting, there are no qualifiers whatsoever in the sixth commandment, you shall not murder. It prohibits the murder of any human being, regardless of race, religion, class, gender, or any other distinction. The murder of a non-Jew is as heinous in God's eyes as the murder of a Jew, as is the murder of a person of a different race, a baby, a centenarian, or any other innocent human being. Now, the universality of that command does not always exist in other religions. For example, I've read the Quran 3 times. I have not seen, and I've done word searches on it. I've done word searches on kill and all the variations on kill, and I've done word searches on murder. I have not seen a passage in the Quran anywhere that forbids murder. Now, there is a verse in the Quran that appears to forbid murder, and when it's quoted by Muslims who are defending the Quran, they often quote it like this. It's from Surah 532. Whoever kills a soul, it is as if he had slain mankind entirely. And whoever saves one, it is as if he had saved mankind entirely. Okay, so is that a prohibition against murder or not? Well, it sounds like it on the surface, but guess what? That's not actually how the verse is written. The verse is actually written, whoever kills a soul, unless for a soul or for corruption done in the land, it is as if he had slain mankind entirely. And whoever saves one, it is as if he had saved mankind entirely. So there's actually an exception written into that rule. And one of the exceptions is for having done corruption in the land. Well, what does that mean? Well, it can mean pretty much anything. If you're engaged in any sort of behavior that can be construed as corruption done in the land, well, you can go and murder that person. That's what it seems to imply. That's what terrorists have taken it to imply. I call it an exception that you could drive a truck bomb through, and some people have. So the absoluteness of the prohibition against murder is something that is, well, not necessarily unique to the Ten Commandments, but it is not a universal thing to all religions. So that's the first point that I wanted to cover about murder. The second point is something that Dennis Prager brings up. He says, the sixth commandment does not forbid killing. It forbids murder. Now, of course, most of us who have heard the commandment, the sixth commandment, have heard it rendered, thou shalt not kill. That's how it's rendered in the King James Bible. But as Dennis Prager explains in a video that he's got on PragerU about the commandment to not murder, which I highly recommend watching, you should go and watch that. It's an excellent it's an excellent explanation. Killing, the word kill was pretty much synonymous with murder at the time, or at least that's one theory. But it's pretty obvious just from the context of the Bible that not all killing is considered murder. Because in Exodus 20, where the Ten Commandments is given, you see, thou shalt not kill, or as it's rendered here, thou shalt not murder. And then in the next chapter, you have the death penalty given for murder. So if killing is wrong in all cases, you can't have a commandment in the next chapter that says execution is right and the just way to punish murder. Moreover, as Dennis Prager points out, Hebrew, like English, has two words for taking a life. Harag, which means kill, and ratzak, which means murder. The sixth commandment uses ratzak. So there is a difference between killing someone which you may have a justification for, and murdering someone, which implies the lack of justification. They're two different things, and it's murder that is forbidden. Now, as a third point, I want to bring up a fact that applies in modern politics, which is the topic of abortion. One of the arguments that people will make against abortion is that it's not murder because it's legal. But I want to point you here to the Ten Commandments where it says, "You shall not murder." This is a law against murder. But in order to make a law against murder, the idea of murder has to exist as a concept independent of law. That means murder and law are unrelated topics. So to say, well, abortion's not murder because, the law allows abortion and murder is the illegal killing of a human being, that's just simply false. Because the concept of murder, as we understand it, exists independently of law. And the easiest way to look at that is that some of these same people will say that the death penalty is murder. Well, the death penalty is legal. If capital punishment is legal, it can't be murder, right? Or is it a legal form of murder? Just like abortion. Now, I'm totally fine with the death penalty. I look at the death penalty as being a deprivation of life in the same way that prison is a deprivation of liberty. You do wrong, you can lose your rights, including your right to life. That's kind of a separate matter. But the fact that I can separate that stuff out shows that I have an understanding of this commandment in the proper sense. This commandment is, you shall not murder. Retribution, a killing in retribution for heinous crimes is not murder, because the person being killed is not innocent. Not true when it comes to abortion. That child's done nothing wrong. So those are my 3 quick points on murder that I wanted to make. I'm Mike Partika. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Don't Take This as Gospel. Again, please pick up a copy of The Rational Bible, Exodus, God, Slavery, and Freedom. You can get a copy at the affiliate link in my video description. And subscribe so you can catch the next episode. I am going to sign off, and we will talk to you later.